guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a video on this look right here, so if you like it, please keep on watching. This is my everyday, quick and easy makeup tutorial. This is my go-to look. So if you guys like it, then just keep on watching. Okay, sorry if I'm looking to the side over here. I've got my mirror set up on this side so I can actually make sure that I'm applying my makeup and stuff on my face and not all over the place. But yeah, I have no makeup on whatsoever, so I'm going to go ahead and get started for this tutorial for you guys. This is what my skin looks like right now. You can tell that I have some blemishes and things. This routine does a pretty good job of covering up all those imperfections and things. Of course, it's not like a flawless full coverage face, but this is just kind of my everyday out the door routine. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing that I like to use is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless Pure Oil-Free Skin Smoothing Face Primer for sensitive skin. I don't really have sensitive skin, but I got this one because I needed a face primer. This one's an okay one. It does a good job at blurring blurring my pores and lines and imperfections and all that. I will say it's one of those silicone based primers, but it does do the job. I like to try a lot of different primers anyways though, so I feel like any time that I run out, I'm trying a new one just to see what's better. I'm just going to rub this in using my hands. I put it mostly on my T-zone, on my nose, especially around my nose, and on the tops of my cheeks, on my forehead and chin, because those are the places where I really want my makeup to stay and where I kind of have problems with it wearing off throughout the day. So just go over it like that. And then the next product that I'm going to be using on my face is Too Faced Beauty Balm. Now I talked about this in my last video. I'm in the shade Snow Glow. This is a multi-benefit skincare makeup. It's like a BB cream basically, but they are discontinuing it. You can still get it on the Too Faced website under the sale items, so definitely go check that out because this is an awesome product. I raved about it in my last video, so go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, I'm just going to use this. I'm putting a little bit on my hands and dotting it onto my cheek, forehead, and a little bit on my nose and chin, just like that. Here, I'm going to scoot up a little bit closer so that you guys can see. And then I just use my hands. This is literally what I do in the morning. But yeah, I'm just rubbing this in onto my face. And it doesn't, the first layer does not completely get rid of all of my problematic areas. But it does a really good job at just kind of blurring those imperfections. Alright, so that's what one layer of this looks like. You can tell it's done a great deal for my skin. Now you can still see my redness and problematic areas through the BB cream, but that's the first layer. I usually go over it with a second layer and then I do my concealer, and that is my full-on base. So I'm just going to go ahead and put on one more layer of that using my fingertips again. Not using as much product, but still a decent amount. I just dot that in the same areas as I did prior. And then I rub that into my skin. Now, like I said, if you have really problematic skin, this is not going to cover up every single thing. This is more of just a light base. I usually wear this every single day if I don't have really anything important. Now, I do wear this to work and stuff. I'll wear my makeup like this. This is normally how I go in. But if I'm going out for the night or something and I really want to be extra flawless, then I use the Lancome Tient Idole Ultra 24-hour makeup. Looks like this, and I'm in the shade 100 IVO or Ivory. This is a really good foundation too, but for day-to-day use, I always go to my Too Faced Beauty Balm. But like I said, it's being discontinued, so I'm kind of on the lookout for another beauty balm that works similarly to this one. But you can tell it's just left a nice like finish to my skin, not anything too over the top. It blends really nicely into my neck and matches me, I think, pretty well. So yeah, that's 2 layers of my BB cream. And then the next thing that I'm going to be using is my concealer. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly really mad at myself right now because I cannot find my concealer, like, at all. It is the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. I literally just used it yesterday, and it is not where I always put it. So I don't know if it just grew legs and, like, walked away or what happened, but it is not here in my makeup stash. So I'm, like, slightly freaking out. But for today's sake, for the video's sake, I'm just going to complete this look using my Lancome Tient Idole Ultra 24-Hour Makeup in the areas where I would use my concealer, just because this is a more fuller coverage foundation. It's going to kind of mimic that of a concealer. Not quite, not anything like my Too Faced one, but it will give that extra bit of coverage where I want it. So I am going to apply a little bit of this underneath my eyes, down my nose, on the top of my forehead, the bottom of my chin, and I use it around my nose, just like that. And then I'm going to use my fingers once again to just kind of pat this underneath my eyes. I do this kind of in like a triangular motion, so I go under my eyes, sweep back under, and then go down towards my nose. So I'm getting like a whole triangular area underneath my eyes to really brighten up that under eye area. Sometimes I use a beauty blender, it just depends. I really do like my beauty blender, but I use that more so if I've got more time on my hands, and if I'm doing like a more full coverage look. I also go with my index finger on the tops of my eyelids just to cancel out any coloration that might peep through the beauty balm. So yeah, you can see I'm just patting this in very lightly, so I'm not like moving any product, but I'm just tapping that into my skin, giving that extra bit of coverage. I do have some like acne spots, but I'm honestly not too worried about those. My skin, I don't think it's like too bad. So I just kind of leave those be. The less makeup that they have on top of them and product and all that stuff, the better it is, I feel like, for your skin. Now, if it was like a huge whomper on my face, I would be using a thicker concealer, or I would really spot correct it with my Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer. I would definitely cover it up, maybe even use like a color corrector on top of that. But my skin is pretty normal right now, and this is enough coverage for me. So yeah, you can see I still have a little bit of like shine to my face. It doesn't mattify completely, but I do have a nice base going on. Alright, and once that's done, I kind of let that set for a minute, and then I go on to powder. For the powder, I'm using my MAC Mineralize Skinfinish, and mine is really grubby packaging because I've used this for so long. I'm in the shade Lightscapade, which is very, very, very light whenever you look at it in the pan, but it doesn't transfer like that on my skin. It actually transfers into a nice glowy powder. And I'm using the Real Techniques brush, and this one is the powder brush. It's just this big fluffy brush. So I just swirl this in to the powder and apply it to my face all over. I use this as my all over setting powder. It does a really good job at setting my makeup without making it look too powdery or too cakey. I feel like it gives me just a natural glow. It matches me really well, and I don't really have to add highlighter because it's already got that like glowy effect to it. These don't add really too much coverage. It's more of just a subtle bit of color onto the face. Okay, that is me powdered. Now that I have done my foundation and concealer, even though I just use a little bit more high coverage foundation, but now that I've got my base done and my powder finished, I'm going to go on to bronzer and blush, and for this I'm going to be using my EcoTools brush. I don't even know what the name of this brush is, but this is what I've used ever since I started buying any kind of makeup, period. But yeah, I'm just going to go in with this brush. For my bronzer, I'm going to be using my Clarins Ever Matte Shine Control Mineral Powder Compact in 03 Transparent Warm. It looks like this. It has been used a lot. This is just my go-to bronzer because it is not too dark for my skin. I'm not going to do any hardcore contouring or anything. I'm just going to put my brush into this product. And I'm kind of going in the area where I would contour, but I'm really just going to blend this up and out and do little circular motions to really move this product around the face and just kind of give my face a nice warm glow. Not anything very chiseled, although I do want to stay in that same type of area on my face. And then I add it on my forehead, on my nose and chin, and down just a little bit. And I like to go in with my powder brush again and just kind of go over all of that just to help it blend into my foundation and powder a little bit better so it's not any harsh lines or anything. Alright, the next thing I'm going to use is blush, and for that I'm going to be using, this is a Sonia Kashuk brush, and I don't know what this is, but it's one of the dual fiber stippling brushes. The blush that I'm going to be using is a Lancome Blush. Now I don't think that this is a full-size blush. I think this actually came in one of their gift sets, but it's this color right here. It is Aplum. It's the Blush Subtle Delicate Oil-Free Powder Blush in Aplum. So yeah, this is the color, and I think it'll go nice with the pink shirt that I got on. If I do a light dusting over it on my cheeks, I think it will look really nicely. Blush is my favorite thing in the entire world. I try not to go too heavy-handed on it, but sometimes I just get a little carried away because I think it just adds so much life back into your face, you know? So I added on both cheeks, a little bit on my nose. And then I go back in with my powder brush just to kind of blend that in a little bit better. Take away some of that harsh color whenever you first apply it so that you have the nice little rosy cheeks. I just like this color a whole lot, honestly. I think it adds a nice little flush to the cheeks, not anything too much too in your face. And then normally I don't really apply highlighter because I feel like I have a decent glow all over the face. But like I said, I do love blush a lot, so I'm going to go back in with my MAC Talk of the Town Mineralize Blush. This might have been a limited edition item. I'm not 100% sure. I'll put all the links to these products down below in the description box. But I honestly kind of think that this was limited edition packaging from a collection. I can't remember which collection it was from. But I think the color was actually a permanent item. I'll double check on that for you guys and let you know down below. So don't quote me on that, but I will check for you guys. It looks like this though. It's a really pretty mineralized blush. Any kind of mineralized blush I'm hooked to because I just think they're so pretty. I'm going to go back in with this stippling brush from Sonia Kashuk and just barely dab my brush in there and put this right on the apples of my cheeks to add a little bit more glow to my face. The next thing that I'm going to do is add a little bit of contour and shape into my eyelids. Normally on a day-to-day basis, I don't go full on with my eyeshadow. I just put a little bit of a brown shade, a muted brown shade into my crease just to give my eyes a little bit more shape. So for that, I actually go back into my Clarins Evermatte Shine Control Mineral Powder Compact in 03 Transparent Warm, like this, and I use the CALA Crease 415 brush. So I go back into my bronzer, and I just add that into the socket of my eye. This just gives my eyelids a little bit more like definition and stuff, so that they're not completely stripped, you know. Sometimes I do like a blank eyelid and like a pop of color on your lips and some like mascara. But even then, I still like to put something in the crease just to give my eyes that extra bit of definition. I think it makes all the difference. But yeah, I just really blend that in as much as possible. So that's what that looks like. And that's all that I really do for my eyes. I don't put anything else on my lid. I just put on mascara and I do my brows, which is actually what I'm going to do next. And for that, I've been using the CoverGirl Brow and Eye Makers eye pencil or eyebrow pencil. This is in the color Soft Brown. Alright, so that is my eyebrows finished. Like I said, I just quickly run my brow pencil through my brows, give them a little bit more color and fill in the spots where my eyebrows are really sparse. So that is the finished brow look. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add some mascara, and for that I've been using the L'Oreal Voluminous Waterproof Feline Noir mascara. It looks like this. I think this is one of their newest mascaras. It looked newer to me. And this one's the waterproof one. I do like it. I will have to say my two favorite mascaras of all time are the Revlon Photo Ready mascara. I'll link that below so you guys can check it out. That's a really good drugstore one. And for a more high-end, I will say I have to follow the hype because the Benefits Their Real mascara is incredible. It really makes my lashes look like they're fake, honestly. But this one is an okay mascara. Those two are particularly like my all-time favorites, but I've been giving this one a go, and it's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. It has a nice little brush on it, and it's like kind of one of those bendy brushes. Looks like this. And I'm just going to go in. Alright, the next thing that I'm going to be doing is touching up my lipstick. So for that, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild lipsticks. Formulas for these lipsticks are insane. The pigment is phenomenal. I ate a greasy McDonald's McGriddle and was wearing this lipstick, and it did not budge the entire time I was eating it and finished eating it. So that's saying a lot, I think. If I can eat and especially something like that greasy, then this has like been through the true test. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to my lips. I really, really do like this color. It is awesome. It lasts all day long. $2.39 though, like you can't beat that. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this right now. this is in the shade 902C Bear It All. And it's just a nice, like, brownie nude kind of color. It's got a little bit of a pink undertone to it too. It's kind of like a My Lips but better kind of color. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished makeup look. I hope that you guys like it and have enjoyed watching this video. This is just my go-to look, so it takes no time to do. I'm in and out the door in no time. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section down below. I would love to hear your feedback. Also, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below. And if you'd like to keep posted on all of my latest YouTube videos, Instagram posts, and whatnot, go ahead and follow me on my other accounts. I have them linked down below in the description box as well, so that you can follow me around on the daily or just stay tuned on when I upload and post new videos on here. So thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I really do hope you've enjoyed this look, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!